Morning here in Camp Mastators, and everything is moist and sandy. Jen is doing a little better this morning, but we're both feeling the heat effects from yesterday. And the mayflies are out doing their thing again. Yesterday was rough. I think that was actually the worst I've seen Jen get due to heat. She went out for ice and came back and was just basically fried the rest of the day. So we had a plan, which was be 10 miles ahead of where we are and get through New Orleans today. We're actually changing that due to circumstances. So instead we're going to be river angeling it in New Orleans in about 30 miles and then set out early the next morning and continue on. Per the forecast, the heat will actually be worse than yesterday, but it just all depends. If we get a breeze and some cloud cover, it might be survivable. Maybe. So yeah, later than usual, we're both dragging, but we just have to make mile 94 or so. We are going to be taking out at some steps in the French Quarter. We have a place to stay tonight, should get air conditioning, laundry, wash off the sand, etc. You might notice that we basically stopped changing clothes, and it's because there's just no point. We're so soaking wet all the time. It was 90 degrees last night at 9 o'clock, and we were sitting there eating dinner, and there's just sweat pouring off me. The little divots on my sleeping pad, I drowned an ant in one of those yesterday. So 6:30 on the water, only a minor surf launch. We try and time it between the tows, but there's only so much you can do. But it's okay. Tonight will be a reset, assuming Taters doesn't fall off into the Cancer Alley water, and then we will be back to it bright and early the following morning. I think there's going to be a lot of people busy squirting mayflies off again today. Nothing like having an oil tanker staring right down at you. He's turning, probably. Taters is currently giggling uncontrollably because she saw a word on the flag we couldn't understand. Ruction? Does not make any sense.
So authentically, that doesn't make any sense.
Good news is the sun didn't go out last night. Bad news is the sun didn't go out last night. I really wish the scale of all this came out better across the camera, because these things are just massive in person. So this is different. We're not sure what the purpose is, but they actually have a deployable thingamajiggy on the side. We just thought they were overloaded. If those birds look like they're all judging us, it's because they just watched us take a huge wave over the side and sit here bailing water out. Hey, seagulls! Mile 104 or 109, and we're guessing that's our first view of downtown here. I don't think you're going to out paddle him, but you can try. So we're assuming that's a dredging operation, but the interesting thing is what's coming out of that is not white. We've been sitting here watching it go from normal white foam to black. So far this doesn't have much of a feel of downtown. We can see buildings way over there and a couple of bridges, but it's just too wide of an area.
Well, uranium, thorium, whatnot gets shipped somehow.
We just missed him turning up.
Wow, they actually did that impressively quickly.
Just think of how your parking woes would go away if they would use those on your Mazda 2. Baby lock. Mardi Gras? Due to traffic in the area, we had to cross a little closer to Elders Point than we would have preferred, so we called out over the radio and we booked it across. Meanwhile, if you're wondering what we look like from the 27th story of the local hotel, man, those guys move. And they even pass on the turn sometimes. So theoretically, these are the French Quarter stairs, which is going to be our takeout for today. Unfortunately, due to the low water and the lack of any sort of friendly dock in town, our exit involved carrying everything up about 30 feet of riprap covered with vines. Well, that was an adventure. So we had to cross from this side over here to get to the French Quarter stairs, which ended up being 20 feet up. So we had to do this the hard way. And welcome to our adventurous portage. Our river angel was a local, and he insisted if we were going to portage a mile through New Orleans and walk down Decatur Street, we needed to stop at Molly's and get a frozen Irish coffee. Jen was a huge fan, particularly with how hot it was, and we made all sorts of friends outside of the bar.
And we just realized that since we are in the French Quarter, we can proudly say portage as we portage through New Orleans.
We didn't find out till later, but it turned out we'd missed a sword knife fight by only about 3 hours.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. We did end up making it into New Orleans today and had a really interesting day. Morning was kind of stressful, going by a bunch more industry stations and fleeted barges and things, but it was really interesting to get to see New Orleans proper once we came around that corner. And right about the time it was getting just intolerably hot on the water in the sun, mid-afternoon, we were able to pull off the water into the French Quarter, got to explore a little bit, and are having a really nice day with a river angel, getting to clean up, cool off, and get ready for the last leg of the journey. Home sweet home for the night.
And if you're wondering why we'd take our foot off the gas this late in the game, this is what Jen's heat rash looked like.